Welcome to the 5th Talent Pathways Assignment YouTube video. In this video, we're going to be talking about the psychological factors which may affect athletes in the talent pathway system. To kickstart this video, we're going to look into the competencies and characteristics that are seen to be required if you're going to make it all the way to the top in these talent pathway systems. First is resilience. Don't give up after failure. Failure isn't the thing you only learn every time you're knocked down. You must have a growth mindset as an athlete. You must ensure you're always looking to take steps forward and not back. And finally, mental toughness, according to Clough et al. In 2002. This means the athlete must have the following: self-awareness, commitment, focus, realism, organisation, and have the ability to cope with pressure in situations like trials, big games, competitions, and in the later circumstances of an athlete's career, any criticism they may come across from any fans. Moving on, trauma for resilient athletes, according to Collins, MacNamara, and McCarthy in 2016, can be seen as a beneficial growth opportunity, for example, losing a Grand Slam or returning from injury. However, for less resilient athletes who may face similar trauma, much too often like recurring injury setbacks, may result in early retirement, instead of pushing and fighting back when their backs are against the wall. A professional sporting example is ex-heavyweight boxer David Allen, who stated, "I just didn't want to get punched anymore." This is a huge red flag when it comes to the sport of boxing. To add to this, Allen's career was full of many ups and downs which lacked any sort of momentum and consistency, which clearly shows the lack of belief he had within himself, indicating psychological difficulties. This goes to show how hard it can be at the top of elite sport. A study conducted in 2009 by Van Yperen states that footballers who eventually made it to the elite level had significantly higher acknowledged challenge factors, one being ethnic minorities. Also, Savage et al. In 2016 suggested that athletes that had experienced trauma in the youth stages found it much easier to bounce back, as they already created a formula to face these challenges in the future. Now let's look at the ways these problems can be developed. Collins and MacNamara conducted a research project which is split into 3 groups, the first being life skills. This theory focuses on experiences and trauma which builds resilience for athletes to combat any future problems they may face throughout their career. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger, which is the title of an article which states a challenge too large may also be the end of the road, by Sarkar in 2015. This shows that it is vital to find a balance which will enable each athlete to figure out their own limits. Next, we have attitudes. If the level of self-discipline, willpower and persistence is at optimal level, they are more likely to make it to the top. This requires a growth mindset and high levels of grit. As Collins and MacNamara stated in this research, more gritty athletes achieve more in their career. However, these attributes can't be taught by your peers, and therefore it's down to the athletes to seek these skills within themselves. The final stage is skills. This process of development is down to the teachers, coaches and parents to create an environment for talent development to efficiently occur. Overall, from this research, we can see that it is imperative that young athletes face failure in order to develop their psychological reinforcement. To conclude this video, we are going to look at some extremely talented athletes that have struggled with their mental health and show the type of grit and mental toughness to bounce back and make it to the top again. Number 1, we have Michael Phelps, who suffered from severe depression since winning the 6 gold medals in 2004. He stated he struggled to find motivation to train for the 2012 London Olympics and even considered taking his own life due to these struggles in 2014, but he found the courage, mental toughness and grit to fight back and compete in 2016 Olympics, where he added even more gold to his name. Another example who struggled with their mental health issues is Jack Wilshere, who was constantly injured and was dealing with problems off the pitch with his family, which led him to become extremely demotivated. He said, "I forgot about football. I remember saying to my wife, I'm not sure I can do this anymore." To get through this, he had the aid of the Arsenal manager at the time, Arsene Wenger, who granted Wilshere extra time to sort these issues out and to ensure that when he does return, he'll be in the right headspace to perform at the top level again. This shows the importance of the coach-athlete relationship, not just on the pitch, but off it as well. As Lentz, Kerins and Smith in 2018 said, social support may play an important role in athletes' mental health, especially the relationship with coaches. This shows how vital Wenger was in Jack's comeback, as if it was for a different, less understanding coach, he may have never recovered or played football at the top level again. As Confucius once said, our greatest glory is not in never failing, but in rising in every time we fail.